So the question I have is, if leadership actually listened, whether it's a GM, service manager, CEO, and you guys could tell them to pick one thing that would make the biggest difference, and you can only pick one, what would it be?
If there was something that the manufacturers could actually do to improve the lives of technicians, it would be to have some sort of, I don't want to call it regulation, but the same way that they force their franchise dealers to change the face of the building every so often. Otherwise, they're going to pull that manufacturer funding from the franchise dealers. If they had even just a little bit of their hand into regulating how the service department is going to treat the employees that work for the franchise dealer that represents the manufacturer, then I think that would have a lot of good implications towards the end. So right now, in the case of this technician that works for CDJR, his complaints is not something that is of matter to the manufacturer by any means. That's a problem between him and his franchise dealer. And the fact that it's between him and his franchise dealer tells you that that's typically the argument is between the service technician and the franchise dealer themselves. And that's the way that I always hear it and always goes. It's never, the manufacturer is screwing me except for warranty times. That's pretty much all the manufacturer is doing negative to the technician, is lowering those warranty times. But this is such it's just, I wasn't shocked at all when you read the question, because this was the complaint that I heard from every dealer tech that I've ever ran into. And unfortunately, the manufacturers just, they're out of that conversation. And the only way they could be in is if they say, hey, you are our franchise dealer. You need to provide this, and or this for your current technicians and the ones that'll be coming to work at your franchise dealer in the future.
So the question is, do you think there's any way to rebuild trust between the older techs and leadership, or has it just gone too far for those older techs, like the one I was telling you about in the beginning of this? Right.
It's very turned corporate, which again, what we were talking about before, Chris had a great point. They're not listening. Then again, that's when we're talking about leadership, we're thinking about the manufacturers themselves or down to the GMs in the particular dealerships. But I mean, me personally, I see this industry as so much more than just a corporate level thing. People in the independent side as well still have these same gripes. And when it comes to the older technicians, telling younger guys not to get into it, as much as all of the surveys say it's not about pay, it's not about pay. That's the number one thing I'm hearing all the time now. It's not about pay. If we want to get younger people into this, it is about the pay. Because why would someone take a job that they've been told they're going to have to buy $100,000 worth of tools for? They're going to have to tough it out at minimum wage for 5 years before they make their way to a dollar raise, or they get put flat rate, and hopefully they can work fast enough to, make a good paycheck. If the writers can sell the work at that point. And for the old guys, unfortunately, that really takes a passion of wanting to be in this, unless you're just going to strictly stay as a nuts and bolts old guy in this trade. The way the technology is the way the technology is changing consistently is a huge gripe that I hear from a lot of the older guys in the industry that don't want to learn it.
So there's just so much talk about flat rate. I think the question is, if flat rate was never meant to be a pay plan, what do you think a fair pay plan for the system would be?
When I was at the dealer, I was flat rate. And the only time I hated flat rate, like I said, was if a writer couldn't sell a job, because we were never really out of work. It's not like it wasn't there. So as to the question, I mean, I do think that salary is the best option for, the typical mechanic, but there's also guys out there that love flat rate. The conversation of flat rate comes out so often, but a lot of people fail to realize that there's a good chunk of people working at dealerships that really do like flat rate. Do I think it's the best thing for the quality of the job at the end of the day that they might do? No, probably not, because it, benefits speed, obviously, over quality. Do I think it benefits the customer to avoid overselling? Definitely not. But it's just such a personal question for everyone that might work in the industry is just going to have a difference of opinion. So
Thank you so much for being on here, and I really appreciate it.